In this video, we'll dive into the remarkable life and legacy of Steve Jobs, as captured in Walter Isaacson's best-selling biography, Steve Jobs. This story takes us from Jobs' early days as a curious and rebellious child through his meteoric rise in the tech world, founding Apple and transforming it into one of the most innovative and influential companies in history. We'll uncover the relationships, struggles, and vision that fueled Jobs' relentless pursuit of perfection, from creating iconic products like the iPhone and Mac to shaping the digital culture we live in today. Join us as we explore the pivotal chapters of Jobs' life, each one offering powerful lessons on creativity, resilience, and leadership. Whether you're an entrepreneur, tech enthusiast, or simply curious about the man behind Apple, this video will inspire and inform, showing how one visionary changed the world and left an enduring legacy. Chapter 1. Childhood, Abandoned and Chosen. In this chapter, we are introduced to Steve Jobs' early life and the unique circumstances that shaped his personality and worldview. Jobs was born to young, unwed parents who, feeling unable to care for him, gave him up for adoption. Paul and Clara Jobs adopted him, and from a young age, Steve was aware of both his adoption and the fact that his biological parents had initially wanted him placed in a family with college-educated parents. This sense of abandonment, mixed with a strong sense of being chosen by his adoptive parents, gave Jobs a unique drive and identity. He often channeled feelings of rejection into ambition, creating a strong internal drive to prove his worth and make a mark on the world. The lessons in this chapter center around the impact of early experiences on one's sense of self and destiny. Jobs' complex feelings about his adoption played a significant role in his ambition, creativity, and resilience. Feeling chosen instilled in him a deep-seated confidence, while his knowledge of rejection fostered a kind of defiant independence. For instance, he was known to reject conventional thinking and embrace his own vision, often ignoring or challenging authority in his youth. This defiance and confidence later translated into his entrepreneurial endeavors, where he was relentless in pursuing his own ideas, regardless of the skepticism or criticism he faced. This attitude became instrumental when he co-founded Apple, creating products that revolutionized technology despite the initial doubts of many. From this chapter, we learn that difficult beginnings can serve as powerful motivation when viewed positively. Jobs' story illustrates that adversity can shape ambition, but also that the love and support of adoptive parents, like Paul and Clara Jobs, can offer a solid foundation for success. Despite their lack of formal education, his adoptive parents nurtured his talents and curiosity. For example, Paul, a mechanic, encouraged Jobs to work with his hands, sparking an early interest in electronics. This foundation allowed Jobs to develop his natural talent and creativity, teaching us the value of strong parental support in guiding a child's passions. Ultimately, the chapter suggests that personal challenges and supportive relationships can deeply influence the path to future success. Chapter 2. Odd Couple, The Two Steves. This chapter explores the early partnership between Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, a dynamic that would be foundational to the creation of Apple. Jobs and Wozniak, often known as the Two Steves, brought distinctly different but complementary skills to their collaboration. Wozniak was the technical genius, a gifted engineer who had an intuitive grasp of electronics and was passionate about building things for the joy of it. Jobs, on the other hand, was the visionary with a flair for design and a sharp sense of how to package and market products. This partnership worked because each could see value in the other's strengths. Wozniak created groundbreaking prototypes, and Jobs was able to turn those inventions into products that appealed to the broader market. One of the chapter's highlights is the creation of the Apple I, which Wozniak originally built for fun and never intended to sell. Jobs, however, immediately saw the potential for commercial success and convinced Wozniak to refine it as a marketable product. Jobs' drive to make the Apple I something revolutionary for everyday users led them to start Apple in Jobs' parents' garage. Their different approaches, Jobs' aggressive business mindset and Wozniak's technical brilliance, were essential to creating a product that not only worked well, but also captivated the public's imagination. This chapter emphasizes how their contrasting personalities and abilities combined to make Apple's first product a success. The lessons from this chapter are clear. Success often requires combining diverse skills and perspectives. Wozniak's engineering skills alone may never have launched a global brand, just as Jobs' vision alone wouldn't have sufficed without Wozniak's technical prowess. Their partnership illustrates the importance of finding collaborators who complement one's own strengths and weaknesses. Jobs' ability to recognize Wozniak's talent and harness it for a larger purpose showcases the importance of collaboration and valuing different skills. For example, Jobs' vision and Wozniak's execution became the formula that sparked the personal computer revolution, demonstrating that great ideas often require both dreamers and doers to become realities. Chapter 3. The Dropout. Turn on, tune in. In this chapter, Walter Isaacson explores Steve Jobs' decision to leave Reed College and the unconventional journey he pursued afterward. Jobs struggled to see the purpose in mandatory courses and sought out classes that intrigued him, like calligraphy, which later profoundly influenced his design ethos. Dropping out gave him freedom to explore his interests outside a structured curriculum, but it also meant living on very limited resources, sleeping on friends' floors, and relying on meal donations. Despite this hardship, Jobs remained determined to follow his curiosity and focused on learning what inspired him, a decision that shaped his creative direction and later contributed to the hallmark of Apple's elegant, user-centered designs. One lesson from this chapter is the value of following one's intuition, even if it leads down an unconventional path. Jobs didn't follow the traditional route, and although dropping out seemed like a setback, it actually provided him with the freedom to think differently and shape his future. The calligraphy class he took on a whim ultimately influenced Apple's typography and the creation of multiple typefaces for the Macintosh. Jobs' journey reminds us that passion and curiosity are crucial in discovering our unique contributions, often in unexpected ways. This idea shows that sometimes the detours in life can provide the most valuable insights, influencing not only personal growth, but also future professional successes. Another significant lesson from this chapter is that challenges can strengthen resilience and encourage innovative thinking. Jobs' minimalist lifestyle post-dropout taught him to appreciate simplicity and resourcefulness, which later translated into Apple's clean and minimalist product designs. His approach to life as a dropout, adapting to constraints, using resources creatively, and valuing experiences over possessions, became central to Apple's philosophy. For instance, the uncluttered design of the iPod and the seamless user experience of the iPhone both reflect Jobs' commitment to simplicity, stemming from his formative years. This chapter reveals that a non-traditional path can build both the skills and mindset necessary for innovation, reminding us that success often comes from embracing challenges, maintaining resilience, and daring to think differently. Chapter 4. Atari in India, Zen and the Art of Game Design. In this chapter, Walter Isaacson explores a transformative period in Steve Jobs' life that shaped his design philosophy and personal values. After dropping out of Reed College, Jobs took on a job at Atari, where his unconventional approach and intense personality stood out. Jobs was passionate about creating designs that were not only functional, but also minimalistic and elegant, a trait that would later define Apple products. His time at Atari was marked by his insistence on simplicity in game design, driven by his belief that technology should be accessible and intuitive. This principle of simplicity, which he practiced at Atari, became a foundational aspect of Apple's design ethos. Jobs' journey to India was another defining experience. Seeking spiritual enlightenment, he traveled extensively in search of deeper meaning and understanding of life. This trip introduced him to Zen Buddhism, which emphasized simplicity, focus, and the importance of living in the present moment. These lessons strongly influenced Jobs' future work, particularly his drive for minimalism and focus. Zen teachings taught him to value clarity and eliminate unnecessary complexity, ideas he applied to product design. For example, in Apple's products, Jobs eliminated any extraneous features, allowing users to engage with the core purpose of the device without distraction. The key lessons from this chapter underscore the importance of simplicity, focus, and purpose-driven design. Jobs learned that simplicity was not just about minimalism, but also about enhancing the user experience by removing unnecessary elements. This approach can be seen in products like the iPod and iPhone, where minimal buttons and a clean interface create an intuitive user experience. Additionally, Jobs' journey to India taught him that personal growth and exploration are essential to developing a unique vision. His time at Atari and his spiritual exploration allowed him to blend technical expertise with an intuitive understanding of user needs, ultimately making Apple's design stand out. This chapter illustrates how life experiences can profoundly shape one's career and creativity, emphasizing the value of curiosity and self-discovery in achieving greatness. Chapter 5. The Apple I. Turn on, boot up, and jack in. This chapter focuses on the creation of the Apple I, the first computer developed by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. The chapter takes us to the heart of Jobs and Wozniak's partnership, where their combined skills, Jobs' vision, and Wozniak's technical expertise gave birth to this groundbreaking product. At the time, personal computers were large and expensive, primarily used by businesses and universities. Jobs and Wozniak, however, envisioned a computer that could be accessible to individuals, built from affordable components. They assembled the Apple I in Jobs' garage, taking a significant risk by dedicating their time and resources to a product with no guarantee of success. The Apple I was not just a product, but the beginning of a revolution in personal computing. One key lesson from this chapter is the power of collaboration and complementary skills. Jobs and Wozniak had different strengths, but their partnership allowed them to create something greater than either could have alone. Wozniak, a brilliant engineer, handled the technical aspects, while Jobs provided the vision, marketing savvy, and drive to get the product out into the world. This dynamic is a perfect example of how teamwork, where each person brings unique strengths, can result in extraordinary achievements. Their complementary roles allowed them to focus on what they were best at, leading to the creation of a game-changing product in the Apple I. Another lesson from this chapter is the importance of perseverance and belief in one's ideas, even when faced with uncertainty. Jobs and Wozniak faced numerous challenges in creating the Apple I, including financial constraints and doubts from potential investors. However, Jobs' unwavering belief in the potential of personal computers pushed him to continue despite setbacks. The Apple I's eventual success, sold to hobbyists and early adopters, proved that vision, persistence, and a willingness to take risks are essential ingredients for innovation. Jobs' commitment to creating a user-friendly and affordable product laid the foundation for the personal computing revolution, demonstrating that sometimes the most innovative ideas come from challenging the status quo. Chapter 6. The Apple II. Dawn of a New Age. In this chapter, we see the evolution of Apple from a small startup to a company on the verge of revolutionizing the personal computing industry. The Apple II, designed by Steve Wozniak, was a groundbreaking product that combined technical brilliance with Jobs' keen understanding of design and market appeal. Unlike its predecessors, the Apple II was fully assembled, ready to use out of the box, and featured a color display, making it more accessible to consumers and businesses. Jobs recognized the potential for mass appeal and pushed for a sleek, user-friendly design, which played a major role in its success. This chapter marks a pivotal moment for Apple, as the Apple II became a commercial hit, setting the stage for the company's rapid growth and helping establish Apple as a serious player in the tech industry. A key lesson from this chapter is the importance of combining technical innovation with user experience. Wozniak's technical genius led to the creation of a powerful computer, but it was Jobs' vision for a product that was both functional and easy to use that set the Apple II apart from competitors. Jobs understood that technology alone was not enough to create a lasting impact. It had to be accessible and appealing to a wide range of people. This emphasis on design and usability is evident in all of Apple's future products, from the Macintosh to the iPhone, demonstrating how critical it is to think beyond just functionality when developing new technology. Another important lesson is the value of risk-taking and believing in your vision, even when others doubted. Jobs was known for his intense drive and perfectionism, often pushing his team to the limit. Despite the risks involved, he believed in the Apple II's potential and worked tirelessly to make it a success. His persistence paid off, as the Apple II became one of the first personal computers to gain widespread adoption, helping to shape the future of computing. Jobs' ability to take bold risks and stand firm in his convictions is a powerful reminder that success often requires stepping outside of comfort zones and pushing against conventional limits. Chapter 7. Chris Ann and Lisa, He Who Was Abandoned. This chapter delves into Steve Jobs' complicated personal life, particularly his relationship with Chris and Brennan and their daughter, Lisa. Jobs and Brennan had a tumultuous relationship, marked by Jobs' emotional distance and his initial denial of paternity when Lisa was born. Jobs' refusal to acknowledge his daughter, despite clear evidence, creates a sense of abandonment for both Chris and Lisa. This chapter reveals Jobs' tendency to compartmentalize his personal life, often prioritizing his career and vision for Apple over familial obligations. His emotional coldness and detachment are portrayed as part of his complex personality, which sometimes led him to make decisions that hurt those closest to him. The chapter also explores Jobs' eventual acknowledgement of Lisa, though it comes after years of denial and emotional strain. Over time, Jobs grows closer to his daughter, realizing the importance of their relationship. Lisa's mother, Chris Ann, also struggles with the impact of Jobs' behavior, navigating her own challenges in raising their daughter. This period of Jobs' life reflects the growing tension between his personal and professional worlds, and how his single-mindedness sometimes led to personal consequences. Despite the initial rejection, Lisa later plays a role in Jobs' life, demonstrating the complexity of human relationships and the capacity for growth and reconciliation. The lessons we learn from this chapter are significant. First, the importance of taking responsibility for our actions is clear. Jobs' initial refusal to accept Lisa and his emotional distance from Chris and show how avoiding responsibility can cause long-term emotional damage. Second, the chapter highlights the complexity of relationships and the importance of emotional growth. Jobs eventually learned to accept Lisa and repair his relationship with her, teaching us that it's never too late to mend broken connections. Lastly, the chapter demonstrates that success in one's professional life should not come at the cost of personal relationships. Jobs' experiences remind us that balance and self-reflection are crucial for maintaining healthy connections with those we love. Chapter 8. Xerox and Lisa, Graphical User Interfaces. This chapter focuses on one of the pivotal moments in Steve Jobs' career: his encounter with Xerox's Palo Alto Research Center and the introduction of the graphical user interface to Apple's product development. During a visit to PARC, Jobs witnessed the revolutionary technology of the GUI, which used icons and a mouse pointer to interact with the computer instead of the command line interface that was typical at the time. Although Xerox had developed the GUI, they were slow to recognize its potential. Jobs, on the other hand, immediately saw its value and decided to incorporate it into Apple's own product, the Lisa, and later, the Macintosh. The chapter highlights Jobs' ability to spot innovation, even when others were blind to its potential. Xerox, despite developing the GUI, failed to understand its commercial value and kept it locked away in their labs. Jobs, however, recognized the broader implications and seized the opportunity to implement it in a consumer-friendly way. His vision of a personal computer with a graphical interface for everyday users was groundbreaking, and this move helped solidify Apple's role as a leader in the personal computer revolution. This teaches us the importance of vision and the ability to see value where others may not. Jobs' success was not only about creating new products, but also about transforming existing technologies into something that could resonate with the masses. A key lesson from this chapter is the importance of taking risks and learning from others without copying them outright. While Jobs borrowed the idea of the GUI from Xerox, he didn't simply replicate it. He improved upon it, adding his unique touch to make it intuitive and accessible for users. This adaptability and willingness to learn from others, combined with an ability to innovate on top of what already exists, played a critical role in Apple's success. It's a reminder that great innovations often come from recognizing what's possible and having the courage to bring it to life in a new form. Chapter 9. Going Public, a Man of Wealth and Fame. In this chapter, we witness the rapid growth of Apple as the company transitions from a small startup to a publicly traded giant. After the success of the Apple II, which revolutionized personal computing, Jobs and his team decided to take the company public in 1980. This move made Jobs a wealthy young man, with his stake in the company valued at over $200 million. As a result, Jobs was thrust into the public spotlight, gaining immense wealth and fame at a young age, which also brought with it a new set of challenges. This chapter portrays how the sudden influx of money and attention affected Jobs, his leadership style, and his relationships within the company. One of the key lessons from this chapter is the importance of staying grounded and true to one's vision, despite the distractions of fame and fortune. Jobs, initially overwhelmed by his newfound wealth, struggled with balancing his personal and professional life. He became more reclusive, controlling, and obsessive about his work, which strained relationships with family, friends, and colleagues. However, his unwavering focus on Apple's success and his desire to create revolutionary products kept him on track. An example of this is his single-minded determination to make the Macintosh a success, even though it was a difficult and costly venture. Despite the pressures, Jobs' commitment to his vision of creating user-friendly computers that combine beauty with functionality never wavered. Another lesson from this chapter is the importance of leadership during periods of growth and success. As Apple grew, Jobs faced increasing pressures, including managing a large workforce and dealing with the expectations of investors and shareholders. His leadership style became more demanding and perfectionist, often alienating those around him. Despite these challenges, Jobs' ability to inspire and push his team to create exceptional products, like the Macintosh, showed that visionary leadership is essential to driving innovation. This chapter highlights how fame and wealth can bring both opportunities and struggles, but it is the leader's ability to stay focused on their core mission that ultimately determines their success. Chapter 10. The Macintosh, Building the First Mac. In this chapter, the focus is on the creation of Apple's first personal computer, the Macintosh. Jobs is portrayed as both visionary and demanding, pushing his team to create a machine that was not only functional, but also aesthetically pleasing. Unlike previous computers, the Macintosh would have a graphical user interface, GUI, and a compact, user-friendly design. Jobs' vision for the Mac was rooted in his desire to make technology accessible to the masses, believing that computers should be easy to use and visually appealing. The chapter highlights the tension between Jobs' perfectionism and the technical limitations the team faced. But despite these challenges, the Mac was born, marking a pivotal moment in computing history. One of the key lessons from this chapter is the importance of balancing innovation with practicality. Jobs was relentless in his pursuit of a revolutionary product, often ignoring the technical constraints to push his team to think outside the box. However, the creation of the Macintosh also demonstrated the significance of collaboration and compromise. For instance, while Jobs was fixated on design and user experience, engineers like Jeff Raskin and Andy Hertzfeld contributed crucial technical expertise to make the Mac a reality. This collaboration, despite the friction, led to a product that changed the personal computing landscape. The lesson here is that true innovation comes from fostering collaboration while maintaining a clear vision. Another lesson is the importance of believing in your vision, even when others doubt you. Throughout the development of the Macintosh, Jobs faced skepticism from Apple's board and his own employees, who were unsure whether a product like the Mac could succeed in a market dominated by IBM. Yet, Jobs pushed forward, trusting that his vision for simplicity and elegance would resonate with consumers. His boldness and unwavering confidence in the product's potential eventually paid off, as the Macintosh, despite its initial struggles, became a foundation for Apple's future successes. The chapter teaches us that persistence in the face of doubt is often necessary to bring groundbreaking ideas to life. Chapter 11. The Design, Real Artists Simplify. This chapter explores Steve Jobs' relentless focus on the importance of design in shaping Apple's products. Jobs believed that design wasn't just about aesthetics. It was about creating a seamless, intuitive user experience. His obsession with simplicity became one of the key elements of Apple's success. Jobs famously demanded that products be not only functional, but also beautifully designed, even in the unseen parts. This philosophy led to Apple's iconic products like the iMac and the iPhone, which stood out in a crowded market because of their sleek, minimalist designs. Jobs often pushed his team beyond what they thought was possible, relentlessly refining every detail until it met his exacting standards. One key lesson from this chapter is the power of simplicity. Jobs believed that simplicity was the ultimate sophistication. For example, the design of the original iMac was revolutionary not just for its color and shape, but for how it eliminated unnecessary features. There were no floppy disk drives, no extra ports, and it had a clear, user-friendly interface. This simplicity wasn't just for appearance. It made the technology more approachable and accessible to a broader audience. Jobs taught us that by stripping away the unnecessary, you reveal the core of what's truly important, making your product more impactful and easier to use. Another valuable lesson from this chapter is the importance of thinking differently and staying true to your vision, even if it means taking risks. Jobs was known for ignoring conventional wisdom in favor of his own instincts. For instance, he pushed the team to design the first iPhone without a physical keyboard, a radical move at the time, which ultimately led to the creation of a product that revolutionized the smartphone industry. Jobs' commitment to design and his belief in simplicity showed that innovation often comes from challenging the status quo and trusting in your own ideas. This philosophy can be applied to any field. By simplifying and focusing on what truly matters, we can create impactful, game-changing results. Chapter 12. Gates and Jobs, the competitor and the partner. This chapter explores the complex relationship between Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, two of the most influential figures in the tech industry. The chapter reveals how their paths crossed multiple times, with moments of intense rivalry and collaboration. In the early years, Jobs was extremely critical of Microsoft software, particularly Windows, which he believed to be a copy of Apple's graphical user interface. This rivalry escalated as both companies became dominant forces in the tech world. However, despite their competition, there were also periods of cooperation. Gates even appeared at a 1997 Apple event to announce a partnership between Microsoft and Apple, which saw Microsoft invest in Apple during a financial crisis. The chapter highlights the duality of their relationship: fierce competitors, yet reluctant allies when necessary. Despite their ideological differences, Jobs and Gates shared a deep respect for each other's abilities. Jobs, though often dismissive of Gates' approach, could not ignore Gates' business acumen and success. Conversely, Gates admired Jobs' vision and design philosophy, although he often downplayed his rival's approach. Their relationship shows how competition can drive innovation, but it also teaches the importance of collaboration in the face of mutual benefit. Even as they competed, both men recognized the value in each other's contributions to the industry. The key lesson from this chapter is that healthy competition can spur growth and innovation, but at the same time, cooperation can create opportunities that benefit both parties. Jobs and Gates had different visions and methods, but their rivalry pushed both companies to innovate and improve. For example, while Jobs focused on intuitive, design-centered products, Gates concentrated on making software more accessible and user-friendly. The chapter demonstrates that even the most competitive relationships can yield productive partnerships when both sides recognize their mutual strengths. The broader takeaway is that collaboration does not always mean agreement. It's about finding common ground to create something greater than what each could achieve alone. Chapter 13. Next, back in the wilderness. In this chapter, Steve Jobs is forced out of Apple, the company he co-founded, after a series of internal conflicts. With no company and little direction, Jobs ventures into creating a new venture. Next, a computer company focused on building high-end workstations for higher education and business markets. Despite having grand ambitions for Next to revolutionize computing, Jobs faced numerous challenges, including the company's struggle to secure a solid customer base. His commitment to perfectionism and unique design led to delays and cost overruns, making Next a financial burden. While Next computers were technologically advanced, they failed to gain the traction Jobs had hoped for, and the company ultimately never became a commercial success. The chapter offers valuable lessons about the importance of resilience and adaptability in the face of setbacks. Jobs, though initially devastated by his departure from Apple, used his time at Next to refine his vision for technology. He did not give up on his drive for innovation. Instead, he channeled his energies into creating a company that, though not profitable, pushed the boundaries of computer technology. Jobs also learned the importance of understanding market needs. While Next's technical features were impressive, it was too niche, and Jobs' inability to focus on the broader consumer market played a role in the company's failure to achieve widespread adoption. This is a reminder that understanding the market and ensuring there's demand for a product is crucial to its success. Another lesson from this chapter is the value of failure as a learning experience. Despite Next's struggles, Jobs used the lessons learned there to shape the future of Apple. The technical innovations that Next pioneered, such as the use of object-oriented programming, became foundational when Apple later acquired the company. Jobs' time at Next also deepened his understanding of leadership and management. He realized the importance of working with a great team, balancing perfectionism with pragmatism, and developing products that resonated with customers. Next ultimately helped Jobs grow as a visionary, and the lessons from his time in the wilderness played a crucial role in his later successes. Chapter 14. Pixar, Technology and Art. In this chapter, we see how Steve Jobs' investment in Pixar transformed both the animation industry and his own career. After being ousted from Apple, Jobs bought the graphics group, which later became Pixar. Initially struggling, the company focused on creating high-quality computer-generated imagery, CGI, but lacked the creative direction to succeed. Jobs' leadership, however, proved to be the catalyst for Pixar's transformation. By merging cutting-edge technology with storytelling and artistic creativity, he helped shape Pixar into a powerhouse, leading to the success of Toy Story, the first full-length CGI animated film. Jobs' ability to integrate art with technology set Pixar apart from traditional animation studios, enabling the company to consistently produce revolutionary films. One of the key lessons from this chapter is the power of combining technology and creativity. Jobs understood that innovation isn't just about the tools we use, but also how we use them to tell compelling stories. Pixar's success lay not just in its technological breakthroughs, but in its ability to marry these advances with deep, emotionally resonant narratives. Jobs recognized that while technology could create visually stunning imagery, it was the heart of the story that would truly connect with audiences. This principle was evident in films like Toy Story, where the emotional journey of the characters elevated the technology, showing that the human element is crucial in any field of innovation. Additionally, the chapter highlights the importance of leadership and vision. Jobs demonstrated that a leader must be deeply involved in both the technical and creative aspects of a project. He pushed Pixar's team to strive for perfection, even when the company was struggling financially, and he took bold risks, like rejecting traditional animation in favor of CGI. Through his persistence and vision, Pixar not only succeeded, but reshaped the entertainment industry. This teaches us that great leaders must be able to inspire and challenge their teams, pushing boundaries while maintaining a clear, unified vision of success. Chapter 15. A Regular Guy. Love is just a four-letter word. In this chapter, the narrative shifts to Steve Jobs' personal life, highlighting his relationships, particularly with his wife, Laurene Powell, and his daughter, Lisa. After a turbulent period of personal growth, Jobs begins to develop a more grounded, family-oriented side. This chapter delves into Jobs' evolution from a workaholic, obsessive entrepreneur to someone who starts to appreciate the importance of family and love. His relationship with Laurene stands in stark contrast to his earlier, chaotic relationships, as she brings stability and a sense of balance to his life. Jobs' transformation into a more reflective, emotionally aware person shows his ability to evolve even in the personal domain, not just professionally. The chapter also explores Jobs' role as a father to his daughter, Lisa, whom he initially denied but later accepted as his own. Jobs' complex emotions and struggles with fatherhood reflect a more vulnerable side of his character. He grapples with his feelings of guilt and responsibility, especially when his relationship with Lisa is distant and strained. However, as time progresses, Jobs becomes more involved in Lisa's life, expressing love and affection, and taking greater responsibility as a father. This illustrates that even someone as seemingly aloof and intense as Jobs can learn and grow in personal relationships, a lesson that highlights the importance of embracing vulnerability and emotional growth. The key lessons from this chapter emphasize the value of personal relationships in shaping a well-rounded life. Jobs' journey teaches us that no matter how successful or focused we may be on our careers, love, and family provide a crucial foundation for personal happiness and emotional health. Jobs' shift toward a more balanced and introspective life also illustrates that change is possible, even for someone with such a strong, singular vision. By embracing love, compassion, and responsibility in his personal life, Jobs not only became a more fulfilled individual, but also proved that professional success alone cannot sustain true happiness. Chapter 16. Return to Apple, Think Different. In this chapter, Steve Jobs returns to Apple after being ousted from the company in 1985. By 1997, Apple was struggling, losing market share, and facing financial turmoil. Jobs, who had founded the company and nurtured its early growth, was called back to help steer the company back to success. Upon his return, he immediately set about simplifying Apple's product line, cutting down on the numerous projects and products that were diluting the brand. Jobs made the bold decision to focus on just 4 key products: a desktop computer, a portable computer, a professional workstation, and a consumer device. This focused approach would ultimately lead to the company's revival. One of the key moments during this time was the launch of the Think Different campaign. Jobs aimed to redefine Apple's identity as a company that valued innovation and creativity, in contrast to its competitors. This campaign featured famous figures like Albert Einstein, Mahatma Gandhi, and John Lennon, portraying Apple as a brand for those who dare to challenge the status quo. The Think Different slogan resonated deeply with consumers, revitalizing Apple's image and reconnecting it with its core values of simplicity, design, and innovation. The campaign didn't just sell products. It sold a philosophy, one that attracted a dedicated, passionate customer base. The lessons from this chapter are numerous. First, it highlights the importance of focus and simplification in achieving success. Jobs demonstrated that by cutting away unnecessary distractions, a company can hone in on its core strengths. Another key lesson is the power of branding and identity. The Think Different campaign was successful not because of the products, but because it tapped into the values and emotions of Apple's audience. Finally, Jobs' return to Apple shows the importance of resilience and adaptability. Despite the company's struggles, Jobs remained focused on his vision and successfully turned the company around. His story teaches us that setbacks don't define us. It's how we respond that makes the difference. Chapter 17. The iMac, Hello Again. In this chapter, Jobs returns to Apple in 1997 when the company was facing severe financial struggles and a decline in its market position. He immediately begins a radical overhaul of the company's direction, starting with the creation of the iMac. Jobs focuses on developing a product that is not only functional but visually striking, challenging the conventional design of computers at the time. The iMac's colorful, translucent casing and user-friendly design stand in stark contrast to the bulky, gray boxes dominating the market. This bold move redefines what a personal computer could be, making technology more approachable and appealing to the mass market. One of the key lessons from this chapter is the importance of design thinking in product development. Jobs' obsessive focus on design didn't just center on aesthetics, but also on the user experience. The iMac was not just a computer. It was a statement of innovation and simplicity. Jobs believed that great design should be intuitive, functional, and beautiful. His insistence on simplicity led to the removal of unnecessary components, resulting in a sleek, all-in-one design. The iMac's success proved that customers were willing to pay a premium for a product that was not only technologically advanced, but also a joy to use. This lesson in prioritizing design and user experience is evident in many of Apple's subsequent products, such as the iPhone and iPad. Another valuable lesson from this chapter is the power of bold decisions and risk-taking. Jobs' decision to radically reshape Apple's product line and the company's branding was risky, as it went against conventional wisdom at the time. The iMac was a gamble, as Apple had little room for error. However, Jobs' unwavering confidence in his vision and his ability to take calculated risks paid off. The iMac revitalized Apple and marked the beginning of its resurgence. Jobs' ability to see opportunities where others saw challenges, and his readiness to make bold decisions, reminds us that innovation often requires stepping outside the comfort zone and embracing the possibility of failure. Chapter 18. CEO, still crazy after all these years. In this chapter, the focus shifts to Steve Jobs' return to Apple in 1997, a company he co-founded but had been ousted from a decade earlier. Upon his return, Apple was struggling financially, with a failing product lineup and a dwindling market share. Jobs quickly set about restructuring the company, cutting unnecessary projects, and focusing on creating a few high-quality products that would define Apple's future. His leadership was marked by a mix of genius and eccentricity, demanding perfection while fostering a culture of creativity and innovation. Jobs revitalized the brand by introducing groundbreaking products like the iMac, emphasizing simple, beautiful design paired with powerful functionality. The chapter also reveals how Jobs' leadership style was often divisive. He was known for being harsh, demanding, and sometimes outright confrontational. However, his high expectations pushed his team to think differently, challenge conventional boundaries, and deliver world-class products. For example, when Jobs demanded the iMac be both functional and visually striking, the design team worked tirelessly to meet his uncompromising vision. This ability to push people beyond their limits resulted in products that not only changed the tech industry, but also shaped cultural trends, making Apple a symbol of innovation and style. One of the key lessons from this chapter is the importance of focusing on what matters most and eliminating distractions. Jobs demonstrated that success often comes from narrowing your focus and doing a few things extraordinarily well, rather than trying to do everything. The success of the iMac and later products like the iPod and iPhone proves that simplifying complex challenges can lead to monumental breakthroughs. Another lesson is that effective leadership requires passion, conviction, and the ability to inspire others, even if it means being unconventional. Jobs' relentless drive and vision ultimately transformed Apple into a global powerhouse, illustrating that sometimes embracing your unique approach can lead to revolutionary success. Chapter 19. The Digital Hub, from iTunes to the iPod. In this chapter, Steve Jobs expands Apple's vision beyond personal computers, introducing groundbreaking consumer products that would change the way people interacted with digital media. Jobs recognized the growing demand for digital music and envisioned a digital ecosystem where music could be seamlessly stored, managed, and played across devices. The iPod was born out of this vision, combining Apple's commitment to design excellence with cutting-edge technology to create a portable music player that revolutionized the music industry. Jobs also saw the potential for iTunes to serve as the central hub for managing music, allowing users to purchase, organize, and sync their music effortlessly. The iPod's success was a direct result of Jobs' ability to anticipate consumer needs before they were fully realized. He believed in simplicity and user experience, ensuring that the iPod was not just functional, but beautifully designed. This approach was a key lesson in the importance of intuitive design in consumer products. Apple's strategy wasn't just to create another music player. It was to create a device that made listening to music a personal, enjoyable experience. By controlling both the hardware, iPod, and software, iTunes, Apple created a closed ecosystem that set it apart from competitors, ensuring seamless integration and offering users an unmatched experience. The lesson we learn from this chapter is the importance of creating an ecosystem that adds value to a product beyond its immediate function. Jobs' insight into the future of digital media reshaped not only Apple, but the entire music industry. By integrating hardware, software, and services, Apple created a synergy that turned the iPod and iTunes into more than just products. They became essential tools in the lives of millions. This focus on the end-to-end user experience, where everything works together seamlessly, is a valuable takeaway for entrepreneurs and innovators striving to create products that truly resonate with consumers. Chapter 20. The iPhone, 3 revolutionary products in one. In this chapter, we witness Steve Jobs' unveiling of the iPhone in 2007, a product that would not only revolutionize the mobile phone industry, but redefine consumer technology. Jobs' vision for the iPhone was to create a device that combined 3 essential products: a mobile phone, a music player, and an internet communicator. Unlike other phones at the time, which featured small screens and complex keyboards, the iPhone introduced a sleek, minimalist design with a large touchscreen and no physical keyboard, setting a new standard for smartphones. Jobs' insistence on an all-in-one design, which blended technology with aesthetics, was driven by his belief in simplicity and elegance. The iPhone was a product that married functionality with beauty, offering a seamless user experience that was intuitive and easy to navigate. Jobs focused on creating a product that people would love to use, placing emphasis on the user interface and touch-based controls, rather than traditional buttons. This approach led to the creation of the App Store, which enabled third-party developers to create apps, further expanding the device's capabilities and fueling its rapid growth and popularity. The lesson we can learn from this chapter is the importance of anticipating and creating products that solve multiple problems at once. Jobs didn't just aim to improve existing products. He reimagined the entire mobile experience. Another valuable lesson is the power of simplicity. By stripping away unnecessary components and focusing on the core features, Jobs created a product that was both functional and aesthetically pleasing. The iPhone's success also highlights the value of user-centered design. Jobs relentlessly pursued a product that was not only groundbreaking, but easy and enjoyable to use, forever changing how we interact with technology. His ability to merge innovation with elegance serves as a timeless reminder that simplicity, vision, and attention to detail are keys to creating transformative products. Chapter 21. The iPad, into the post-PC era. In this chapter, Steve Jobs introduces the iPad, a revolutionary product that bridges the gap between personal computers and mobile devices. The iPad's launch marked a shift in how we interact with technology, signaling the beginning of a post-PC era where traditional computers were no longer the center of personal computing. Jobs envisioned the iPad as a device that combined the power of a computer with the portability and ease of use of a tablet, focusing on simplicity and user experience. By creating a product that was intuitive, visually appealing, and versatile, Apple changed the way people interacted with media, from browsing the web to watching movies, reading books, and playing games. The iPad's success reflected Jobs' philosophy that technology should enhance human experience, not complicate it. One key lesson from this chapter is the importance of anticipating consumer needs before they even realize them. Jobs saw the potential of a tablet long before the market demanded it, creating the iPad as a device that could serve as a new kind of personal computer for the masses. His ability to predict where technology was headed, coupled with his commitment to providing a seamless user experience, allowed Apple to dominate the tablet market. This foresight is evident in the iPad's popularity, as it opened up a new category of devices that didn't just compete with traditional computers, but redefined personal computing altogether. Another important lesson is the significance of simplicity and focus in product development. Jobs was known for insisting that Apple's products should do fewer things, but do them exceptionally well. The iPad exemplified this approach, offering a simple, user-friendly interface with a clear purpose, yet powerful enough to replace many traditional computing tasks. By prioritizing design, performance, and ease of use over features and complexity, Jobs ensured that the iPad was not only functional, but also desirable, setting it apart from other products in the market. This focus on simplicity is a reminder that less is often more when it comes to creating impactful and successful products. Chapter 22: New Battles and Echoes of Old Ones. This chapter focuses on the challenges Steve Jobs faced as Apple continued to grow in the rapidly evolving tech industry. By this point, Apple was a dominant force in consumer electronics with the iPhone, but Jobs was constantly confronted with competition and tensions from various quarters. A significant aspect of this chapter is Jobs' rivalry with Google, particularly after Android emerged as a major competitor to the iPhone. Jobs viewed Android as a direct copy of the iPhone's design, and he was relentless in his pursuit to undermine Google's mobile operating system. He famously vowed to destroy Android and was known for his passionate belief in protecting Apple's intellectual property. This chapter also touches on Jobs' ongoing health issues, which began to have a more visible impact on his leadership. Diagnosed with a rare form of pancreatic cancer, Jobs' health deteriorated significantly, and the stress of battling a life-threatening illness compounded the pressure he already faced in his professional life. Despite this, he continued to lead Apple with his usual intensity, refusing to step down or relinquish control. His personal battle mirrored the competitive battle Apple was fighting in the market. Both were high stakes with far-reaching consequences. The lessons we learn from this chapter are multifaceted. First, Jobs' tenacity in protecting Apple's innovations and intellectual property teaches us the importance of defending what we believe in, especially when faced with competition. For instance, his relentless pursuit of Android's shortcomings reflected his commitment to Apple's vision and the hard work that went into creating something unique. Second, Jobs' health struggles highlight the importance of personal well-being. Even as he fought external battles, the chapter shows that internal health can significantly impact one's ability to lead. Lastly, this chapter illustrates that business and personal struggles often intersect, and success requires navigating both with resilience, a quality Jobs embodied throughout his career. Chapter 23: To Infinity, the Cloud, the Spaceship, and Beyond. This chapter is focused on Jobs' vision for Apple's future as he navigated new technological frontiers. This chapter touches on his ambitious plans for the company's role in shaping the digital landscape, including the development of cloud technology and his vision for Apple's future campus, dubbed the Spaceship. Jobs understood that the future of technology was not just about devices, but about creating an integrated ecosystem that would seamlessly connect all Apple products, services, and experiences. His vision for the cloud, though still in its early stages, was centered on creating a system where users could access their data and media from any device, anywhere. This forward-thinking approach set the foundation for Apple's later dominance in services like iCloud. A key lesson from this chapter is Jobs' ability to anticipate the future and position Apple to lead it. He wasn't just focused on the products Apple was releasing at the time, but on how those products could evolve and how they could fit into a larger interconnected world. For instance, his idea of the cloud wasn't just about storing data remotely, but about enabling a deeper relationship between users and their digital lives. The development of the iTunes Store and iCloud were crucial steps in making his vision a reality. Jobs' ability to foresee the importance of these services before they were mainstream illustrates the power of long-term thinking and foresight. Another lesson is the significance of creating an environment that fosters creativity and innovation. Jobs' dream of a spaceship campus, designed with input from the world's best architects, was a metaphor for the kind of holistic, creative environment he wanted to cultivate at Apple. The campus was meant to reflect Apple's design philosophy and create an environment where creativity and collaboration could thrive. This shows that great leadership involves more than just products. It's about creating the right conditions for innovation. Jobs' relentless pursuit of perfection in both products and work environments highlights how attention to detail can fuel creativity and drive a company's success. Chapter 24: Legacy, What He Left Behind. This chapter focuses on the enduring legacy left behind by Steve Jobs, exploring the profound impact he had on the world, both through Apple and the broader tech industry. As Jobs passed away in October 2011, he left a company that had revolutionized technology and consumer culture. The chapter reflects on how his obsessive pursuit of perfection, innovation, and user-centric design transformed industries and set new standards in personal electronics. Apple became not just a brand, but a symbol of creativity, simplicity, and innovation, with products like the iPhone, iPad, and Mac continuing to influence millions of people worldwide. One of the key lessons from this chapter is the power of innovation and how Jobs' vision led to products that redefined entire industries. He didn't just create gadgets, he created experiences. For example, the iPhone wasn't the first smartphone, but Jobs' relentless focus on design, functionality, and simplicity turned it into an essential part of daily life for billions. This chapter underscores the importance of thinking beyond the product itself. Jobs didn't just focus on technology, but on how people would interact with it. The lesson here is that true innovation often lies in creating something that is both functional and beautifully designed, making technology more intuitive and accessible. Another important lesson from this chapter is the value of legacy and how it transcends personal success. Jobs' ability to inspire and create a company culture that prioritizes creativity and bold ideas is a significant part of his lasting impact. Apple's continued success after his death is a testament to the powerful foundation he built. The chapter also highlights how Jobs' approach to leadership, demanding excellence, embracing challenges, and maintaining a laser focus on his vision, set a standard for future leaders. Jobs' legacy teaches us that creating something impactful goes beyond financial success. It's about leaving a lasting imprint on the world by inspiring change and shaping the future. As we wrap up our journey through the life and legacy of Steve Jobs, it's clear that his story is more than just about technology. It's about the unyielding pursuit of vision, creativity, and innovation. Jobs was a complex figure, fiercely driven and uncompromising in his standards, with a passion that both inspired and challenged those around him. His journey teaches us that real innovation comes from blending art with technology and from constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Jobs' contributions, from the personal computer revolution to the mobile devices that shape our daily lives, are reminders of the power of bold ideas and the impact of a relentless drive to make them a reality. His legacy lives on, not only through Apple's continued success, but also in the countless individuals he's inspired to think differently. As we reflect on his life, let's take these lessons forward, embracing creativity, resilience, and a commitment to excellence in all that we do.